A Hedgehog and a Princess by MadeInNowhere. Summary: a request for Who's Anonymous. Sally and Sonic are often kept apart due to their respective duties, so Sonic books them a trip to Metropolis for some time off. Read and review. Please, no flames. Sonic the Hedgehog sighed a bit as he looked over at his phone. His girlfriend, Sally Acorn, hadn't called him in what felt like a month, when it was actually just a couple of weeks. He understood why, as she had her royal duties to attend to, and he had to save the world from Dr. Robotnik with his friends. Sometimes Sally would join him on missions to help, but the two of them didn't get to spend as much time with each other as they previously had. They'd been dating for a year and a half by this point, and it seemed easy at first, but they found out it wasn't as easy as it first appeared due to their obligations, and they hadn't had an actual real date in 3 months as a result. The last time they got to spend together was Sonic having something of an awkward dinner with Sally's parents, as her father, Nigel, silently judged him, while Alicia kept asking Sonic about his heroic escapades. And as much as he liked to brag, he did start to get a bit embarrassed as a result, which is why he was online. Tails had custom-built him a laptop, and the Blue Hedgehog was looking up ideas to try and find things he could do with Sally for a date. He saw the idea of a nice restaurant, but he knew that Sally would likely get recognized, and neither of them needed the publicity. Camping? No, too far out in the woods, and not the best environment for someone like Sally. Where do I take her that's somewhere she can't get recognized that she'd still feel safe in? He skimmed through the locations. Marble Zone has nice architecture, but so does the castle she lives in. Green Hill is where I live, and I don't think she needs a tour of the city. Mystic Ruins has a nice atmosphere, but it's mostly empty besides Tails and some other friends living there. He skimmed through more and found one. Ah, Metropolis. Man, I haven't been there in a while, and I don't think Sally's ever gone. He checked the prices and was pretty impressed. Not a lot of rings for a trip, and I have enough to pay out of my own pocket. He looked again. Ooh, the beach is opening. Thank chaos for that. The weather outside is getting really hot. He put in his details and paid for the trip, booking it for a couple of weeks down the line, as it'd give both him and Sally enough time to prepare. He pulled out his phone to call Sally, but he didn't get a call right away. But he saw that it was pushing lunchtime, so he went out to get himself some food. As he was on his way back home, his phone rang, and he answered it to hear his girlfriend's voice. Nude, "Hey, babe," Sally said. "Sorry, I got your call earlier, but I was really busy with a meeting. Well, my parents were meeting with a duke, but they wanted me there for some reason." "It's all good," Sonic said. "So why did you call?" Sally asked. "If it was for a lunch date, then I can't do that as our cooks are preparing something." "Oh, it's not about that," Sonic said. "In fact, it's something better than that." "What did you do?" Sally asked, a bit of excitement in her voice. "I booked us a trip to Metropolis," Sonic said. "It's in 2 weeks, but that'll give us time to get stuff ready. And I would have asked you if it was cool, but we barely get to talk. I think this phone call is our first chance to communicate at all in, 3 days? I think it may be 4. Sally giggled. "And don't worry, the idea for the trip is cool by me. But why there?" "Well, it was cheap enough for the trip, so I paid for everything," Sonic said. "I'll only be for like a weekend, but there's a nice hotel we could stay at next to a beach that's going to be open soon." "Oh, thank chaos for the beach thing," Sally said. "Trying to keep cool in the castle is a struggle, so it'll be good to go there." "It really will be," Sonic smiled. "I'm glad you're okay with this. I just think we need time to ourselves for a bit. We have friends who can stop Robotnik while we're not around, and it can't be fun doing your royal duties all day." "It really isn't," Sally admitted. "I've not done a lot today, but my feet are killing me, and I just want to spend my time with you." "That would be really fun to do," Sonic said. "Okay, in 2 weeks, it's a date. Hopefully your parents are going to be okay with it, especially since I'm paying for the trip." "Fair, but if they chip in a little bit for us, you won't complain, right?" Sally asked. "I really won't," Sonic smiled. "Hopefully I'll see you soon. Maybe I can swing by the castle tonight to say hi? That would be nice, but the last time you did that, The archers almost shot you down." "Almost is the key word there," Sonic said with a chuckle. "I dodged the arrows pretty well. Still, I don't want you getting hurt, love," Sally said. She heard a knock at the door. "Ooh, dinner's ready. I'd best be on my way. I love you, Sonic." "I love you too." Sonic smiled, hanging up. So the 2 weeks had passed, and in the time between, Sonic still had to fight off Robotnik on occasion. But when he could, he got his stuff ready for the trip to Metropolis. He also had a couple of phone calls with Sally from time to time, which was no easy feat given her royal obligations, but she did confirm that she was going to go. He reminded himself that her parents did like him, despite the difference in background, even though getting them to be okay with him dating Sally in the first place wasn't easy in itself. On the day that they were set to go, Sally had arrived at Sonic's house, having been driven there by a chaperone of sorts. Sorry for the less than flattering casual wear. "Hey, I get it," Sonic said. "Stops you from being recognized as the girlfriend of the handsomest hedgehog in Mobius. I think I can risk being caught with such a humble man." Sally playfully winked. "Did you pack everything?" "I did, yes," Sonic said. "Toothbrush, spare toothbrush, clothes, some other toiletries just in case. Sick playlist of songs, and even my fancy running shoes." "I'm glad," Sally smiled. "My stuff is waiting in the car I arrived in, so we'll have to drive to Mobius, I'm afraid. I would rather run us there, but if it stops you from being noticed, then I can understand it," Sonic said. He suddenly rushed to his girlfriend and lifted her up, spinning her and making her giggle. "And I get to spend it all with you. Yeah, we can catch up on things, listen to your sick playlist, maybe even just nap on the way there and stay close," Sally said as she was set back down. "I'd like that," Sonic said. "It's been a long time since we just shared that sort of thing, but with the hotel we're going to be staying at, that won't be a problem." Sally chuckled at her boyfriend. "Oh, and the parents say you're welcome for them paying for any food and drinks." She reached into her pocket to pull out a credit card. "Being a princess has its benefits, turns out. We'd best try not to max that out," Sonic said. "It's worth 1,000,000,000 rings," Sally said casually. "I think we're fine." "Oh, just a casual billion," Sonic said, unable to hide his smile. "What? It's for emergencies," Sally defended jokingly. "And besides, Metropolis is fairly pricey to my knowledge." "Well, yeah, but it's not royalty level." Sonic chuckled as he sat on his sofa. "If I had enough to pay for the basics, then it can't be that bad. Then again, that did take me about 2 years of saving up. And I know that you don't take handouts," Sally said, sitting with him. "I always appreciated that about you. You always have your honesty and integrity. I thought you liked me for my devilish good looks and razor-sharp wit," Sonic said. "That does help," Sally smiled. "Come on, let's move." So the two exited the blue hedgehog's house and got into the car that was waiting for them, even being helped with their luggage to be carried, and they were thankful they didn't overdo it with the packing. The drive itself to Metropolis wasn't an overly long one, and the couple managed to catch up with each other, with Sally talking about some meetings and other stuff, as well as actually trying to make friends outside of the palace, while Sonic talked about Tails' newest inventions and trying to keep up to date with his own circle of friends. They soon reached the hotel they were at, and Sonic went to the desk with a bag of luggage under his arm. "I'm here to book a room under the name Hedgehog. A double." The concierge looked through her computer. "Ah, of course. There's one on the first floor. Would you like help with your luggage?" "No, thank you, but we appreciate the offer," said Sonic. "Of course." The concierge nodded. "Enjoy your stay at the Metro Hotel." The two got to their room, which was pretty spacious, and they wasted little time in unpacking their stuff, seeing that their bed was sorted and that they had a nice view of the outside and access to a balcony which oversaw a beach nearby. Sonic looked down at the waves crashing against the shore, and he felt a hand on his back. "Are you nervous, sweetie?" Sally asked. "Oh, nah, I'm better around that stuff," Sonic said. "Water, I mean." "I got that," Sally smiled. "You know, it's really nice out. How about we sit, chill, and decompress. Then we get ourselves beach ready. The blue hedgehog smiled back. I'd like that. The two rested together on their double bed for a bit after that, not sleeping or talking, just staring up at the ceiling and holding hands, sharing the odd cheek kiss here and there, the small soft glances, and just relaxing for a bit before deciding to make their move. They got themselves some appropriate beachwear, with Sonic going with a blue tank top and some black swimming shorts, while Sally put on some brown sandals, as well as a white wrap skirt and a black bikini top. She finished it with a sun hat and some sunglasses, and she and Sonic packed what they needed for the beach before heading to the sand itself. They saw a couple of people playing volleyball and asked if they could join in, and both got on opposite sides. Sonic even remembered to not use his powers, but Sally's team was better, and she even got the last spike to win, bragging that she'd beaten Sonic. He shrugged it off and saw another couple making sandcastles. "Wanna give that a go?" Sonic asked. "Ooh, I'd like that," Sally smiled. "But did you bring anything to help? Spades or buckets? We can just use our hands." Sonic shrugged. "Be careful of your extra clothes, though." Fair point. She took off her wrap, showing the black bikini bottoms underneath them and making Sonic blush, which made her blush as well. "You like what you see? You're so gorgeous," Sonic said dreamily. "So are you," Sally smiled. "You wore that top on purpose, huh?" "What? I can't show my lady my physique," Sonic replied, flexing badly on purpose to make the brown squirrel laugh. The couple then got to work on making a sandcastle together, with Sally coming up with the idea of making it look like the castle Acorn, and Sonic was more than happy to help her do. He was thankful he remembered his phone as well, and he took a picture of it. But as he did, he got a surprise cheek kiss from Sally, making him smile as the shutter sounded. They then got some towels out, putting an umbrella up, and putting some sunscreen on themselves, and deciding to try and get a tan in. As they were getting warmed up, Sally overheard an ice cream van's jingle, and saw said van parked near the top end of the beach, just before where the sand was. "Ooh, I always wanted one of those ice creams," Sally commented. "I can get us a couple," Sonic said. "I've got money." "Please?" Sally asked. Sonic smiled. "What kind would you like?" "Ooh, a blueberry cone," Sally replied. "2 blueberry ice cream cones it is." The blue hedgehog zoomed off, managing to beat others to the line, and as soon as he paid for the cones, he dashed back to Sally, handing her cone to her. "Here you go." Sally licked it and smiled. "That tastes amazing. I rarely get to eat any ice cream at the palace." Sonic chuckled. "Is it because it gets on your nose?" What? Sally asked, patting her nose and not finding any ice cream on there. "Sonic," she admonished him. "I'm sorry that I lied," Sonic said, leaning close to her before licking her cheek to gather where the ice cream actually was. "There you go." "Okay, that was pretty smooth, I won't lie," Sally giggled. Over time, the sun began to set, so the two picked up what was left of their cones and decided to walk along the shoreline, holding hands happily as the sun faded into the background slowly. The two turned to watch the sunset, and Sally leaned to rest her head on Sonic's shoulder as darkness began to settle in. They enjoyed the quiet for a moment before noticing the beach was thinning out, so they got their stuff up and left, going back to their hotel room. They decided to get changed into some pajamas, and they went to their bed, Sonic smiling at Sally as she smiled back. "I love you," he said. "I love you too," Sally replied. She leaned to kiss him, and he kissed back softly. "Good night, my love." "Good night, princess." Sonic smiled, and the two curled up in bed as they drifted off together.